Hey, this is Disciple Marcello Currents. This is part two of the misperceptions of the Antichrist. Okay? So we covered that basically he's going to be definitely from the white tribe. He's not going to be American probably because he wouldn't be preserved over here. He's definitely probably not going to be a black man because that's another reason he probably wouldn't be preserved. He might die from the craziness over here as a black man. He might have got shot down by the police before he could come to his destiny. So we understand that beyond all the no one wants the devil to be of their tribe. No one wants the son of the devil to be of their tribe, but it's apparent that the white tribe has the power over the world and has been following a timeline of evil for so long. It's just inevitable for him to fall right in line with what they've already been doing. And that's the white tribe specifically, that people that exclude on this level with this money, they exclude other people. They exclude other tribes. So they may help way down there somewhere, but not way up here, where I'm talking about. That's them all day. It's nothing but basically the white tribe. So that's what we know. That's a common sense thing, based on the planet Earth, that he will have to be of a tribe that already has the power and has the power to put him in power. That's a fact. Now, the next thing I wanted to touch on is the people that will be coming up until the time of the Antichrist. People like me, the prophets, the prophetesses, the powerful people of God, even people just with money and fame. I want to touch on them right quick. First of all, people of power in America shouldn't always be demonized. That's the first thing Americans do too. Soon as anybody get any kind of power, the first thing they want to do is, that's the Illuminati. That's a Freemason. Why? Just because they got some talents and they have obvious talents that produce money for them, and you want to demonize them and say they're the Illuminati just because they got a record deal and just because they got money. This is what I see. This is the pattern that I see, is that these kook Americans, these weird Americans that never got their country together, never changed the country, they sit back and think that people with power or people with influence are always evil. But you only thinking that because of the white tribe. The white tribe has, as soon as, with their power in this country, have done much evil. This is what made you start thinking this way. It wasn't because of black people having power. It wasn't because of the power that black people have and how they act with power to make you think that everyone with power is evil. It's the white tribe that made you feel this way because of the things that they did with their power. The things they did with their power makes you think everybody with power is evil. You don't trust Christian power. You don't trust prophet power. You don't trust fame power, musician power. Everyone got to be evil if they have some type of authority in this country. And people will say, well, you can't get through the cracks unless you go through this club and all that. You gotta use common sense and human nature. You know what I'm saying? You gotta use common sense with human nature. Or better to say, common sense with human outcomes and life outcomes. There are people that have power that are not Illuminati, are not Freemasons, are not any of those things. And it just happened to be sometimes because they have obvious talents, they make obvious money. Then you have some people that are like spiritual. They're not of the devil because bad things are happening. Just because bad things are happening to this country. Oh yeah, this is what I want to say. America always, they have enemy. As soon as they have an enemy, they think the enemy is always evil. Every enemy. So you telling me every enemy of America has been evil? Every enemy. There's never been a legitimate enemy of America where they were justified in the way they felt, justified in fighting America, and justified in well, I ain't gonna say winning because there's not too many people that won against this country, but the bottom line is America demonizes everybody that opposes them. Whoever is elite, I do not believe that all the people that oppose America is evil. I do not believe all the enemies of America are not good people. All of them are no good. There are some good enemies of America. There are some people who oppose America that are good people. But this is what they do. This is how they do this. They take everyone who's their enemy or perceived as their enemy and they demonize them. They do it with Russia, China, anybody you can think about, Japan. You name one person they have allowed to stand with them that's just as great of a superpower as they are. You can't name any. You can't name any of them. You can't. You can't name anybody who they let stand beside them. So this has been the strategy of America. And as soon as somebody have any power in this country, they can also go let the culture eat them alive and make them a demon. They can go along with that. They can go along with that if that's a threat. That's all they got to do. Just let the community demonize them, and basically that's it. They're not gonna have the power that they're supposed to have. So see, that's what happens in this country. They demonize. They demonize anybody with power, and it's important for you to understand that God will have his people rise up in this country. Oh yeah, they not the Antichrist. The prophets are not the Antichrist. People like me are not the Antichrist. People like me are prophets, spiritual people. We have the power to change things. But you haven't had true power from God in this country pretty much almost ever, to where it actually gets results to the point where you have to chalk it off as voodoo or black magic because you have not seen tangible results from God's people in this country. That's another problem. Not only do you demonize everybody with power, as soon as somebody with God's power come along, you want to demonize them. Either you're going to make them a child molester, or you're going to say they're using black magic. That's what you do with God's people. And that's because of the Catholics. And that's because the white tribe did not correct the Catholics when they should have. And it got out of control to the point where all religions are demonized. Is pedophiles. Anytime somebody talk about religion long enough, they go right into pedophiles. But you don't know why you've been programmed to think that way. You don't know why you think that way. The reason why you think that way is not because it's an original thought. Half of the things that you think in this country is not original thoughts. It's not something you thought on your own. This was put in your mind over and over and over. So that's how they destroyed religion in this country. It's just allowing the demonization, if you will, of the Catholic Church to the point where you don't accept no religion. They allowed that to be. They allowed all that child molesting stuff. That was allowed because of the white tribe doing it. There wasn't no black Catholics doing that. Let's get that 100. Let's get that understood. There, for the bulk of the people that was molesting those children from the Catholic Church in Catholicism, they were not black priests. Okay? These were white priests. You understand? And that's another reason why it was so kept hush hush. They ain't never had nothing the black man do, or even what they think he did. They do not conceal the sins of a black man. But they do conceal the sins of white people. So because the Catholics were doing all this, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, and they were white. Since the whites were doing this, that were Catholics, they left it alone. Now you got these commercials. Yeah, if something happened to you from a priest, then, you know, call this number. You still can get compensation. It's 20 years later. Like I said on the other video, them people probably dead, man. Both sides, the victims and the predator. Both of them probably dead. A lot of them are dead. But because it was a white problem, and I have to keep it 100 when I talk about this. Pedophilia is a white issue in America. Just like selling crack cocaine and gangbanging is a black issue. And people don't like to hear it like that, but that's what it is. And the best way I can give you it, that's the best way I can give you an example. Black people got their crimes that they do, and white people got their crimes that they do. And unfortunately, for the bulk of the registered sex offenders, 66% of them are white. Okay? Now, I'm not saying it's something they mind. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just telling you the facts and the statistics and the percentages. It's 66% white people. That's more than half. Okay? And so how I perceive it is the white man's gonna look out for his tribe. That's why if you look at it, with it being 66% white people that's registered as sex offenders, I think this is the reason why that it's so people are so simple on the subject. When you talk to Americans, they don't even know this statistic. But I wonder if it was black people that was 66% registered sex offenders, they would know. I wonder if they would know. They probably would. Oh yeah, 66% of those white people, black guys, are raping the children. Doing stuff with the children. Yeah, but you don't know nothing about your own tribe, or you at least ain't talking about the 66% of the white, the registered sex offenders is from the white tribe. You're not talking about that. So what I think is that America has been very simple on this subject. It's elementary. They can't, you think about it. It's no sophistication to the approach of catching sex criminals, sexual predators. It's an elementary approach because it's a white tribe problem. But yet they got all the sophistication to catch crack dealers. They got all the sophistication to catch gangbangers. You got all kind of sophistication with that, but you have no sophistication when it comes to catching sex predators, because it's a white issue. When people talk about it, they can't even talk about it intelligently, like I'm doing. I can tell you, 66% of the registered sex offenders are white people. They can't even tell you. The Americans can't even talk about it fluently because they're not programming you to think about that, because it reveals their tribe. The white man doesn't want his tribe revealed for what it is and the sins of his tribe. We all have sins in all our tribes, right? But the white man don't want his tribe revealed for what they do. He don't want them revealed. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't mean to stay on that too long, but that's basic, but that's real. You know what I'm saying? So the power in this country is always demonized. Okay? The reason why you against spiritual power is because, like I said, the Catholics getting allowed to do what they do and run wild to the point where it got out of control because they didn't handle it because it was white people. And so now you reject all religion because of what they did to the children. The Catholics, what they did to the children, that made Americans reject all religion. So you demonize and you think that any spiritual power is not of God. You are it's demonic, or it's not. Are you questioning any spiritual power because of what the Catholics did? That's not Christianity. Catholicism and Catholics are not one and the same. Okay? We are not the same religion. Jehovah's Witness is not the same as a Christian. It's the same thing. They try to throw us all in that pot. No, the Catholics was the ones doing that stuff with them children. That wasn't no Christians. I'm not saying humans will do all these evils that you see. So I'm not saying there's no Christians that haven't done that, because they're human beings. That's another thing. You know, all religions are you still have human beings in the religion. They don't become robots. So you can't blame the religion. You got to blame humanity. You got to blame the human nature. You can't blame a religion. So when you look at when you do finally get spiritual power, the first thing you want to do, or you get a person that's a prophet, the first thing you want to do is put that child molesting stuff on them. That's the first thing you want to do because of the Catholics. And I believe America allowed it to run wild so that religion would be assassinated in this country. Or at least it was convenient for them to let it run wild, I guess you could say. So that religion would be assassinated as far as influence over the people. So because of what the Catholic did, that ruined all the influence of religion in the country. And America just allowed that to happen. It was convenient. Think about the evil people that don't want nothing to do with Christianity. Oh, we could just let this happen, let that happen, let that be, because that's destroying the whole credibility of religion in itself. In other words, more so to say, it's destroying the human inclination to know God. It's destroying that natural feeling that you would have to know the higher power because of what these institutions did. You should just have a natural feeling about wanting to know who God is, or knowing about God. Besides a preacher, besides a priest, besides a mosque, besides a sanctuary or temple, or a shrine, you should want to know about God naturally. And they just like you should naturally want to be with the opposite sex, you should naturally want to be knowing about God. It should come that natural, that feeling in some time in your life, just how a man feels at some point in his life where he starts to notice women. At some point in your life, you should start to notice God. You should start getting these yearnings and feelings like, I want to know God. You should basically come into spiritual puberty, where you start wanting to know who God is. But what the Catholics did, like I said, in the country letting it run wild because the white tribe was doing it, and then they felt probably that it's cool, let it happen because it's destroying the credibility of religion. That assassinated or that dulled down your natural yearnings to know the Lord. So anybody that comes into power, you questioning it. Because it's spirit. Any good people that come into power, you question it. Anybody that comes into power in America is questioned. That's not good. That's not good at all. But the white tribe is the problem behind that. It's not black power. How far did black power get in this country? Okay then. So this is white power that has caused people to question all power in this country. Now you got people thinking everybody the Antichrist. Because the white tribe molded you to think that all power is evil. Now you thinking Obama. Now they was thinking Obama was the Antichrist. They was thinking he was the Antichrist because they already had in their mind power is evil in America. Any kind of power is evil in America. I don't care what kind of power it is. Because that's what you saw from the white tribe. The white tribe molded your mind to feel this way. But by reality though. It was by the reality. The things they were doing. Even in religion. The thing the white tribe was doing in religion made you feel power was evil here in this country. Can you really blame the black man as far as power in this country? Can you really look at the black man and think that his power is evil? Let's keep it 100. Can you really look at a black man that has power and really think it's evil through and through? You can't do it. You can't name one figure. You can't name one evil black figure worth noting. Name one. You can't. You can't even name one evil black leader that is on the caliber of Hitler and Robert E. Lee and all these white supremacists, Ku Klux Klans, and all the stuff they did. You can't even name a black leader that's on that caliber as far as evil. So in America, you never even had an evil black leader. You never even had a seriously evil black leader. But yet, they try to demonize every black man to come along, but you ain't never seen it. You ain't never seen evil black power. All you have been seeing is evil white power. That's all you've been seeing. I don't care if you think I'm racist. I don't care what, it's the facts. If it was a certain animal that was doing all evil, or a certain animal that was doing all wrong, let's just say in the prehistoric time, if it was the Tyrannosaurus, if it was the T-Rex that was doing all the eating of all the rest of the animals, then that's what it is. It ain't got nothing to do with hating the T-Rex. The T-Rex was the one eating all the animals. It's the same thing with the white tribe. It's not about being racist. They were the ones eating all the people, consuming all the goods of the people all over the world. All right, I'm come back with another part.